Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. Episode 201. Yes, that's right. I hope you guys all enjoyed episode 200 last week. I know the audio levels were a little up and down based on who was speaking. Zoom stinks. If you record over Zoom, Zoom stinks. So, I know it wasn't necessarily the easiest listen on earth, but I appreciate those of you who did. I think we had a great conversation. But the show goes on. We are now past episode 200. We are plugging right away. And today, we're going to talk about hopefully a way to keep people semi-interested in MLB The Show 24. So, full disclosure, I am recording this 8 or 9 days ahead of time. I'm on my bachelor party right now. Or I'm coming home from it, actually, the day that you're listening to this. So I don't actually know the content currently going on in the game. I still think this is an important conversation to have, so I figured now would be a good time to have it. We're going to talk about 5 things, attainable, reasonable things that don't really require much effort at all, that can make MLB The Show 24 more tolerable, potentially could salvage some of the last 8 months of this game cycle. It's wild. It's wild that it's the middle of June. By the time you're listening to this, July. And we're having this conversation. Yeah, I mean, let's just hop on into this. So, here's the thing. The barometer for what we're talking about today has to be a reasonable suggestion. Reasonable meaning actionable. Yes, getting rid of sets and seasons would make MLB The Show 24 better. That is not something that you can just flip a switch and do, I'm pretty sure. So that is off the table. We're not talking about that. Part of what kind of sparked this video idea for me, please pardon me as I scribble things on my notepad here, is that I saw multiple large creators, Cougs, Kevin, just using 2 as an example, who are currently creating content around MLB The Show 21. It is June. Not good. Not good. MLB The Show 21 was fun. Not discounting the value of that game. But usually going back in time in MLB The Show is something we reserve for like November, December, January. February comes along, we pick up the current game again just to get ready for March when the new game comes out. That's the life cycle. That's how it's supposed to work. But here we are. Here we friggin' are. So, I think if SDS is listening, sometimes they are, I want so badly to have a reason to play and love this game, as so many of us do. I know a lot of us are going to get tied into college football and Madden soon. Understand that. But sometimes there's just a baseball itch you got to scratch. And I'm hoping you can help me scratch it in appropriate places. So let's begin with, here's the first thing. This is so easy. So easy. MLB The Show, SDS, needs to give us every single captain card, or at least significantly many more of them, before Season 3 comes out. I don't need them to be free packs in the shop. I just want to be able to earn them. Put them in a BR program. Put them in a World Series program. Put them in an event. Put them in the spin wheel. Maybe we do get a couple free ones in the shop. It is ridiculous that a game that wants us clearly, they want us so badly to use captains because the cards they build stink. They clearly want us to use captains, yet they're not giving us all the theme team captains. In the beginning of the game, a lot of us weren't even taking our favorite team's captains. We were taking Adalberto Mondesi and Adam Dunn just because they raked and we needed good cards. In this XP reward path for Season 2, there are 4 packs available. 2 pitchers and 2 hitters. You know how many cards there are of the captains? There's 60. There's 1 hitter and 1 pitcher for each team. This is what got me going on this subject. And maybe it's a little bit of an overreaction, but maybe it's not. This Rickwood Field event, which is already long gone by the time you guys are listening to this, so just bear with me. Use this as a reasonable example. You could use Sanford Green cards, Barrier Breakers, Jin Kim, Negro Leagues, Giants, and Cardinals. If you had the Giants and Cardinals captains, their theme team captains, you were at a sizable advantage over the field. Because you have the same cards available to you as everybody else, except now you can make them better. And if you didn't have the Giants and Cardinals captains, like I didn't, you could clearly still win. I went 20-2. I'm not complaining about difficulty level of the event. I didn't find it difficult. But there are certainly people who might have. And the playing field wasn't technically level if you ran into 5 or 6 people like I did that had Cardinals and Giants captains. What's the solution to this? Make the cards available. I don't even care if you want me to buy them on the marketplace. If there's enough of them around, they'll be cheap, I'll go get them. They're just for no reason gatekeeping all these captain cards. For no reason. Ridiculous, in my opinion. Maybe I'm a little fiery over something that really doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but for me, it's just stupid. It makes no sense to put all of these cards blocked. Put them in team affinity. That's the whole point, building teams up. Put them somewhere. We need these captains. We need these captains, so going into maybe even the end of Season 2, beginning of Season 3, people can actually build the teams they want to build. You're going to make me use captains? Now I want to be able to use one. So I'm literally getting a headache talking about this because it annoys me so much. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And such an easy thing to implement that would make a lot of people feel kind of cool about trying new teams and doing different things. So SDS, if you're listening, give us more captain packs. Moving on. This is kind of a double dip here, a twofer, a daily double, if you will. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da. We need more programs, and in those programs, we need more packs. This is not news to people. This is what we've all been saying for a while. As you can see here, again, I'm recording this on June 24th, so I am behind. I'm in the past. You're in the future. You're seeing more stuff than I am. I'm in the past. But on June 24th, the year of Ramon, 2024, in Season 2, there are 3 season award drops programs, which come out every single week. So that's not surprising. But only 2 other programs. Only 2. The Architects program, super cool idea. Let's create a program that helps us use your cornerstone captains. I love that. I think that's a cool idea. These cards suck, though. But they want you to use a captain. That's the whole point. I hate the way this game is so handcuffed by what captains can and cannot do. I think captains have ruined the game just as much, maybe, as sets and seasons, but it's neither here nor there. And then 5 whole standard packs. Wow, SDS, thank you for your generosity. This London Series program is the biggest backslap in the face to the player base that I've ever seen. We begged, pleaded with SDS. Please put packs in programs. At just one. I don't need a guaranteed rare round. I just need the chance to pull the cards that you're dropping with whatever content you're dropping. Continue to put packs in the shop, but at least give me 1 pack chance in a program. So what did SDS do? They took every player item out of the reward path, and they gave us 1 no-sell pack. Just ridiculous. This is a giant backslap to the entire community, and I hope everybody realizes that. This is an atrocity. I'm not even going to look at it anymore. So what is the solution? There are people in my comments all the time. All we creators do is whine. All we MLB The Show players do is whine. We're not asking for a lot. In fact, what we're asking for is really actionable. You know how I know that? Because the game used to be like that. It's not like we're trying to recreate the wheel. We're not trying to, crack the code. The code exists. The code existed 3 years ago. Just make it like that again. I don't know, guys. It is clear that this is now a very pack-forward game. And while I don't agree with it, the influx of packs can still exist as long as there are programs that at least give us the opportunity to get a card. That's all I'm asking for is an opportunity. I'm not asking for a guarantee. I don't want to be hand-fed anything other than a chance. And you know what else the program with packs does? It incentivizes playing and grinding the game to try to get the pack, to get the card you want. There are very few reasons to play this game. Plain and simple. You can play it for enjoyment for sure. Absolutely. 100%. But if you're wired like I'm wired as an X plus Y equals this. Like if I do this, I'll get this, I'll earn this. That's just how I'm wired. I can't control that. I know a lot of people maybe are similar. There is very little incentive to hop on this game because X plus Y doesn't equal anything. X plus Y equals time wasted. So that's the second thing they can do. Give us more programs, put a pack in a program, just give us stuff to do and make it worth our time. The next thing, and this is a big one, but it's also an easy peasy one. Its importance level is high. Its ability to enact it is super simple. So let's go here first. When Season 2 began, this more or less was my lineup before I grinded a single thing. As you'll notice, core Live Series cards, some of these Hyper Series fellas, Barrier Breaker, collection here, Mike Piazza, Live Series collection. I'm not going to go into the pitching. You guys catch my drift. I love, if there's anything good about the seasons model and the way they're resetting, it's that Live Series has value beyond the first week of the season. And I think that's a good thing. That is not a quality strong enough to keep seasons around forever, but just in this vacuum situation, I like that. But the problem is, when Team Affinity Season 2 Chapter 1 dropped, the cards were still 89 overalls. 89's overall was excellent for day one of this game because we were all starting at, you guessed it, 0. We were starting with nothing. But now with the way Core carries over and Live Series carries over and Team collections and Live Series collections and a wild card, this isn't even factoring in a wild card. 89s are simply useless. There was not a single Team Affinity card outside of Tanner Scott, who's not even that good. But he was the only one I put into my lineup because I needed a lefty help. 89 Team Affinity is great for Season 1. Season 2 should have been jacked up to like 90, 91, 92, just to give us a little more attribute power to disperse and make these cards valuable. I think Team Affinity Chapter 1 for Season 3 needs to start at 92, 93. That's where it's got to start. Because in my head, every content drop should lead me to make roster decisions. Especially big content drops. They dropped how many cards the first day of Season 2? And none of them meant a thing to me. At least none of the free ones. And ultimately, it's your free, grindable content that should drive your game, not packs. I don't know why that's hard for people to understand. But if you start Team Affinity at 92 now, I have choices to make. Like, yes, maybe my 90 Ronald Acuna, who gets inside edge, is still better than that 92, but it's not a slam dunk. It's like, oh, that 92 actually does this that Acuna can't do, or like the attributes make his fielding better. Like there are actual conversations to make, to be had, rather. The overall on a card doesn't make or break it. We say that constantly. You know, if you like a swing, if you like a card, overall be damned. Use it. Go ahead. But across the board, I don't think anyone would complain at all if Team Affinity started at 92. I don't think anybody would have a single negative thing to say. And I'm not advocating to start day one of the game in Season 1 with 92. 89, again, perfect for that. Perfect. Gotta be upped a little bit. You could still have a power creep that moves at whatever speed you choose. You'll just be giving us a couple point head start. And by that point in the year, I think they should be giving people that head start anyway. So you start Team Affinity at 92s next season. And I think a few more people might be interested in at least giving it a look. Because they're not starting from high 80s again. Or ignoring the grind for high 80s because the cards are meaningless. Give meaning to the content you drop. Don't just drop content to say you dropped content. Give it meaning. Give it reason. Give it glorious purpose. Me and my fiance have just been rewatching the entire MCU, and glorious purpose was stuck in my head from Loki. So there you go for that. Next up. This one's kind of important to me because it's odd that they haven't been doing this. Let's go to the pack shop. The most recent chase card that dropped, Randy Arozarena. The one before that, Christopher Morel. The Arozarena card ain't half bad. It's fine. It's not like a must-have for me, but it's fine. The Morel card was not as fine. Like, it was okay. The cards are kind of boring in terms of, like, their visual appeal as well. Another chase card earlier this year was Shota Imanaga. I understand that that was his first card in the game. Trey Turner and Johan Duran just had chase cards. They've had a lot of active player cards come out. This codename pack. Everybody's an active player except for the big piece, Ryan Howard. Where are all the legends? Where are the legends, Ramon? That SDS paid for. Who's making the decisions? Who is driving the bus? Who's behind the wheel? Like, we got an 86 Paul O'Neill. My one and only ever one of one P5 Superfractor. I did it. Where's my juicy Paul O'Neill? Give me a better friggin' Paul O'Neill that I can have fun with. Where's 94 and 96 CC Sabathia and Andy Pettit? Where are the legends? Where's John Kruk? Is he going to get a better card? You know, part of me is kind of worried, and hopefully I'm wrong. I'm assuming I will be, but part of me can't help but be worried that this 90 Mike Piazza, because he's core, and at the start of every season you'll be able to use him again, there's no shot this is going to be the best Piazza we get, right? Right? This Rafael Palmeiro, when you P5 him, he's a 99. Are we getting another one? Because I'm not sure. I want a juicy, crispy 99 Bernie Williams. Real friggin' bad. Adrian Beltre, new legend in the game, has been completely ignored outside of this day one pre-order pack. If you want to use Adrian Beltre as a new legend, you had to pre-order the game. Or spend 38,000 stubs. But there should be an attainable version of him. Johan Santana. He's new. Where the hell is he? I can keep going. I don't hate the focus on active players because the current game today is driven by active players. I'm sure the Players Association likes when MLB The Show pushes active player content. I get it. But seeing as we're lacking so much content, it wouldn't hurt to throw some Legends stuff out there. Let us use the cool players we grew up watching. You'll automatically have my attention. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing, the last thing. I've got a little fiery this episode. I didn't necessarily intend to, but I feel like these things I'm suggesting are not difficult to come by. It took me 4 minutes to come up with this list. We're going to stay on the Adrian Beltre card for this last one. It has to do with new card series. So far this year, it looks like there's 2 new card series. Outside of barrier breakers and stuff, because it's pre-order. Hyper series, that's going to run through the life cycle of this game, and the Hall of Fame series will also run through the life cycle of this game. The MLB The Show art team, typically every year, does an incredible job giving us cool looking stuff. These cards look cool. The Hall of Fame cards look crazy good. They're going to have to redesign All-Star content and draft content, Home Run Derby content. I haven't seen it yet, obviously. I'm in the past. But, those cards will probably look cool, too. Finest, just about every year, is sick. But what irks me is that we're getting leftovers from last year. Like, this card series looks cool. The Incognito series looks cool. It was new last year, and it feels played out now. I also think there's a negative association with it because a lot of the cards the last 2 years have just been not great, and the grind hasn't been good, and there's a lot of distaste for the franchise the last 2 years. So I think we're just sick of seeing stuff that reminds us of bad things. All I'm asking for is something fresh. There's been so much recycled content in MLB The Show 24. Not even content. Recycled cards or recycled design concepts that I just want something that makes this game feel new. It doesn't feel new anymore. It just feels like MLB The Show 23 again, but slightly tweaked and worse. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just want something new and fun and shiny and cool. And I don't think that's asking for a lot either. I feel like I can't be in the minority here. And I know there are going to be plenty of people who listen to this and go, wow, all this guy does is complain. We can't help those people, chat. We can't help them see the light. Not everyone is meant to see the light like we are. I just want a fun game that keeps me invested longer than June 24th. Because this is the earliest ever people have stopped playing MLB The Show. Has to be. It's a record. The game, it literally just came out in March. April, May, June. 3 months. People are gone. Not good. Guess how many more months there are? 9. That's math. 12 minus 3. 9. So this is where we are. This is the reality of our situation, but I do feel like these 5 things would at least make me a little more inclined to pick the sticks up and give it a try. This is not the only list of 5 things. There are certainly other things that you guys might find more valuable than what I said. Please let me know what those things are. I'm open, obviously, to having this conversation. This is not an exclusive club of things. This is just the 5 things that came to the top of my head. And again, the key thing is reasonable. We can't just have them get rid of sets and seasons mid-year. That won't happen. Next year, we can have that conversation. And if sets and seasons are back in MLB The Show 25, I think we have a larger problem. But for right now, we're just trying to put some bubble gum and a Band-Aid on this thing and see if we can make it to the finish line. Because I want a reason to play this game, because I like playing baseball games. It's just this game is hurting me. It's hurting a lot of us. It's hurting our spirits. We're all getting into other games, and I think that's good for our mental health, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't also want a good baseball game. So, YouTube, that's ultimately where, or YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Internet, this is SoundCloud. Ultimately, this is where I land with this. I just want a game that gives me reason to play it. It's not just a shell of what it used to be. And right now, that's what MLB The Show 24 is. So, thank you guys for making it to the end of this episode. If you did, I love you, of course. Let me know what you think. Let me know how we can make this game fun, because it's really all I want. So, I appreciate you all. We just passed 4,000 subscribers, by the way. Holy hell, thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep up the support, and I'll keep up the content. So, that is it. I'll see you next time.